Hey guys, it's Leah here, and it is a blizzard outside, and it's May 14th, so basically today I wanted to talk about the whole driving process, just because I just got my license, and I kind of want to explain the permit test and the road test, because there's not a lot of teens who actually, acknowledge their experience with it. It's mainly just driving instructors who tell you what's going to be on it, even though half the time they don't even know what's going to be on it. So I'm going to start off with the permit test and what it takes to get to a permit test. So basically, a permit test is the test you take to get your permit. It's basically just a driver's education test almost. You're supposed to take. I'm from Wisconsin, just so you know, so this is more Wisconsin rules. I don't know. I'm almost positive you have to take a permit test in every other state. Maybe you don't, but it's basically like an actual test that on paper or online if you do it that way. I went through the school and I'm not positive, I think it was 22 hours of driver's ed. And then I took my test November 2nd, I think. I'm not positive. But I turned 15 and a half. That's Wisconsin rules. Okay, I'm jumbling everything. Wisconsin rules are 15 and a half, you get your permit, 16, you get your license. After that you can get it, whatever, but not before it. So I took my permit test on November 2nd, so I could go to the DMV on November 6th, which is a day after my 15 and a half birthday kind of thing. And so the permit test, if you took driver's ed, the permit test is actually really easy. There are so many different online tests you can take to prepare yourself, which I did, and I read the whole Wisconsin handbook on driving. I read the motorcycle handbook so I could know about the motorcycle stuff, because they asked some questions about motorcycles. And yeah, that test, I think it was 40 questions, 30 actual questions, and then 10 road signs. I got 3 wrong. That's basically the permit. Then you get your permit, which that means you can drive with an adult, a driving instructor, or someone over the age of 21 with a license, and you drive. Then you get to behind the wheel driver's ed, which you actually drive since you have your permit. And I did this through the school also. It was $250, I think. And we took the driver's ed car and we just drove around, and you needed 6 hours of driving and 6 hours of observing. So we basically got up. I went to school at 6 in the morning. I drove for an hour, then my partner drove for an hour, and then you got 2 hours in, you need 12, so there you go. Now the road test. I'm going to explain my experience with it, and then I'm going to describe exactly what happens on the driver's test. So the driving road test, don't know why I did that, is when you're actually driving with a driving instructor or inspector. I don't know what they're called. They just sit in the car with you and they write down on their little clipboard, and that's what it is. And if you pass, you get your driver's license. If you fail, you don't. About a week before my driver's test, which was on May 9th, my birthday is on May 5th. So I started getting really nervous that week before it, and it wasn't to the point of oh, I'm gonna pass out. It was just kind of it's coming up soon. And yeah. Then I got to that Saturday and Sunday. I took my test on a Monday, so that Saturday and Sunday I was freaking out. It wasn't I was to the point of throwing up or passing out or anything. It was just to the point where I was my heart would pound, I felt my stomach drop, that kind of thing. To prepare myself, you can't really prepare yourself for the driver's test. If you want to know a secret, I'll let you in on this little secret. Online, if you're in Wisconsin, there's this website where it has all the road, practice route maps that you could take for your driver's test, so you could practice a route. and it might be the route you take. I don't know how it works with some of them, but like I did that route like every weekend. I just did it once or twice, practice it, because you could find out where the uncontrolled intersections are, you can find out where the four-way stops are, you can find out where everything is and how to get around these things. That's where it's at. I guess after I went online, I watched tons of videos saying what not to do on your driver's test, what do you do on your driver's test, all these kind of videos, just so I could get kind of it wrapped around my head. And that morning I actually slept fine. I went to the DMV. I practiced my route, the practice route a few times, just to get, like, if I do the route once, I'm not that good at it. Like, not that good. I mean, like, I'm not as cautious. Like, once I did it twice, I got more cautious. So I did it twice, and then I went to the DMV, and we went in there, and I was, like, the second person to take my test that day. So there was this, like, this boy, he must have been my age, and he was taking his test before me, and I was sitting there, and they give you, like, this sheet of paper, and they take your permit, and they give you the sheet of paper saying what you should know, like, how to turn on your lights, how to do your defroster, and whatever. And I was, like, holding onto the sheet, and I'm like this, like, shaking, and the guy behind, like, sitting next to me, he's just, like, casually playing on his phone, like, dude, I'm freaking out, and you're just, like, that. I'm like, I'm like, Mom, look at my hand, and I'm like, I was, like, spasming, and I felt like I was gonna pass out, and I didn't eat that morning because I was, like, felt like I was gonna throw up, so I was just like, no, not gonna happen. He went, she's like, oh, we'll be back in about 15 minutes, blah, blah, and, like, his test was at 8 o'clock, he went out at 8, he came back at 8:30, like, it took a half an hour for his test, and she said 15 minutes, and my test was supposed to be at 8:20, so it's like, oh, that's probably not good. Yeah, and then I started freaking out a little more, and then they have this little booth where they talk to you about if you passed or failed, what you did wrong, what you were good at, and blah, blah, and they spent, like, 5 minutes in there just talking, and then they left, like, they didn't go up to the counter and get his driver's license, they left, so I'm assuming he failed, and that's why I started freaking out even more, and she came over to me, and she's like, are you nervous? And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of freaking out, and she's like, oh, it'll be fine, blah, blah. So now, I'm going to take you on my actual driver's test. So, I had this lady, we're just gonna go with she took me out, I led her to my car, my vehicle, my mom's brand new Ford Explorer, whatever. Basically, I went in there, I started the engine, I, turned on the turn signals in the front, turned on the headlights, turned on the brights. She went to the back and she tried the brake lights, she did the turn signals in the back, and then she came in. Then I'm gonna kind of take you on my whole route. Just kind of, I feel like if I'm more informative, then it'll actually help people, because, like, when I took my driver's test, I didn't have any help really, so I was, like, freaking out. So I was in a parking spot. She's like, okay, back out whenever you're ready. I'm going to be taking notes, so don't let it bother you. And then she's like, don't pass out on me because you're in the driver's seat and I don't want to die. And I'm like, I'll try not to. And then so I backed out of my spot. I went out to where you're supposed to get out. I turned left, so I went for, like, a little bit, and then I turned, there's a stop sign, turned right, went for a little bit, not even enough to get up to, like, between 20 and 25, and then I stopped, and we turned left, and then we went, and there was no stop, and you had to turn right, so we turned right, and then she had me pull over, and then she was like, okay, let's pretend we're on uphill with a curb, and you're parking your car here overnight, and so you had to turn the wheels to the left, and then put your car in park, then put your parking brake on. And then she's like, okay, whenever you're ready, turn back into traffic. So then you undid your parking brake, turned your wheels a little more, and look behind you and go. And then we went for a couple of roads, and then we turned left, and there was a stop sign, so but I had to wait for a car. So I stopped behind the crosswalk, let the car go past and then go. And then we got to like the main central road that there's a central road that's like where all the stop and go lights are. That's not what they're called in any other state, but I call them stop and go lights, so just don't yell at me. So then I went left on to the central. We're gonna call it central, and we went left, and then we were turning right at the next street, so I had to hurry up and look behind me and change lanes, and then get to that side so I could turn right at the next stop and go lights. And I would turn right, and this one was a 4-way stop. So he stopped, there was no cars, and I turned left. And I'm going down this road for like 3 streets. Then I turned left on that one. It was a stop, because it was like a T intersection. So you stopped, and then we went that way, and then we got to the stop and go lights, and we turned left again. And then once we were going on Central again, you had to change lanes and then go right on the next street. And then you're going straight. You just went straight for a while. Just going straight, having a good time. You turn right, just going straight. It was a really bumpy road, I used to remember that. Really bumpy, blah, 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 blah. And then I turned left, where I didn't have to stop. I'm sorry, this is like really weird. You don't even have to listen to this if you don't want to. And then she had me pull over on that road, and then I had to back in a straight line. Did not go as well as I planned because it was on uphill and the street was weird and crooked and I don't know. So I kind of went up on the curb. Like, not on the curb, like just right on the curb. I mean, like, there's a curb and then there's a driveway, so it kind of dips down and goes up. So like when I got past this dip, then I got over to this dip, I kind of like rolled up on it a little bit, but came back down quick. And she only deducted 1 point for that, so it was okay. And then she had me pull into traffic. We went straight for a while. Then we turned left with no stop onto this like little weird, crooked, really bumpy street. And we went, and then there was an uncontrolled intersection, so I had to slow down, look both ways. There was no car, so I kept going, and she had me pull over. And then I did a Y turn or a 3-point turn, whatever you guys call it. We call it a Y turn. So basically, if you don't know what a Y turn is, this is going to be my car. I'm going to do it like straight up so you kind of see it. So this is my car on the side of the street. This is the side of the street. So basically you go forward to this side of the street, then you back up this way, and then you go that way. So it's a U-turn, but like a broken U-turn kind of thing. And so I did that, and then on the uncontrolled intersection, you had to turn right. So I turned right. Then we went up that street. It was a hilly one, and then we turned right again at the stop sign. And then we went, and then we turned left to the street where the DMV is. So without a stop sign, we went to the left. And then I turned in the DMV, and she's like, okay, park wherever you want. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go park down there because those are the easy parking spots, and I can't mess those up. And she's like, oh, park right there. And I'm like, okay. Got right in there. I was that close to the line. But, you know, it was okay. So, if you want to hear my results now. Oh my god. We went into the booth with my mom. She's like, you got 7 points off, passed. I'm like, okay, awesome. And she's like, you just got 4 points off because, my driving instructor had always told me that I should stop before the stop sign, roll up, and he never told me that I should stop again after I rolled. Practicing that, and I didn't stop the first time I rolled up. So I got 4 points off for that. I got 1 point off for backing up onto the curb. I don't know. There was like 2 points off for being cautious, I think. I don't know. Like, cause I was really nervous for like that first 3 streets. I was like freaking out, and then after that I was fine. But yeah, that's basically my driving experience. I went and got my driver's license after that. I got that little paper, and then it came in the mail yesterday, which was May 13th. So 4 days to get my driver's license. That wasn't that bad. And now I can drive. Okay, so thank you for watching. I might put some links down there of like different websites I use for my permit tests, for practicing my driving. All those things will be down there. Okay. Okay, bye.